Hi, my name is Alyssa Schwartz, and for my mini lesson, I chose to do second grade math because I'm a substitute teacher right now, and I've worked in the second grade classrooms and first and kindergarten classrooms, and second grade was just kind of the easiest that came to mind for what I was be able to just come up with, and I know kind of the characteristics of how students behave as second graders, and so for the second grade math, I decided for my instructional goal, I decided to create students who can add fluently, and the instructional objective is at the end of this lesson, students will be able to add, and I realize that you're not going to be able to just teach the kids how to add in one day, but when they come into second grade, I know that they will have some abilities between the numbers 0 and 10. So my plan for this lesson is to add on to that and have the students learn from adding numbers above 10, but lower than 20. So the core content standard is 1.0A6, and it's add and subtract within 20, demonstrating fluency for addition and subtraction within 10, and using strategies such as counting on and making 10 and so on. So for what I decided to teach for this mini lesson was just adding, and so it's breaking it up instead of just all in one shot. The characteristics that the student learners would need would be to be able to follow directions and listen and follow along and use their visual aids as directed, sit quietly, and answering questions by raising their hands. And for second graders, as I've said, I've been in the second grade classroom, and I know that this sitting still and quietly isn't the easiest thing, but it's better for second graders than it would be for first or kindergarten or preschoolers. So, and I know that they get better as they learn. So that's why I'm using the visual aids, so that they don't have to just sit there and listen and take notes. They can actually be doing something with their hands and seeing what they're working with. And for the task analysis, the kind of task is operations and algebraic thinking. And the task is to add numbers within 20. And before they can successfully add numbers between 0 and 20, they must be able to know the numbers from 0 to 20, and they must be able to know place value and mental strategies for adding, and they must understand adding and combining two positive numbers will result in a greater number, and multiple strategies can be used to solve the same problem mentally. They also must be able to find the sum of adding two numbers between 0 and 9 and memorize the sums for two one-digit numbers, and must be able to apply different strategies to add within the numbers 0 to 20. And so I know that they won't get it right away, but starting after they know 0 to 10, then 10 to 20 is the next step. And the sequence of instructional activities that I've chosen for this lesson, the materials that will be needed is counting blocks, and like 25 to 30 for each student. And right now, I don't have counting blocks, so I'm just going to use pens to show the visual, because I am not a teacher yet, so I don't have those visual aids at my disposal. So the students will need 25 to 30 counting blocks. They will each need a pencil. We'll need the projector in the room, and then the teacher-made worksheets, one, and the math vocabulary worksheet. And so I made a math vocab that was on the list of vocab words that would be needed for the Common Core standard that I'm using, and the words that I'm having them use is just on this sheet, and it's sum, add, total, and equal. So what I have for the teacher to be doing is I will ask students first, before we go through the vocab, I'll ask students what they know about addition to get a feel for how much knowledge they have about adding, and if we need to start lower or what we need to do to get a grip on adding higher than 10. And then I will use this vocab sheet, and I will go through and I will say each word and ask the students if they know what the word means, and if they do, I'll let them say it, and then we'll go through what the actual definition is. So I'll say, do you know what the word sum means? And then after they say what they think it means, I'll tell them that it's the result of adding two or more numbers. And the same with add, total, and equal, just using the actual definitions. And after we get done with going through the words and definitions, we will then go to, I will start handing out the counting blocks, and like I said, I have my pens, but so I will also, I will be asking basic addition problems like what's 4 plus 2, and I'll have them get out four of their blocks, and then have 2 more, and then add it to that. So then I'll have them be able to visualize what they're doing, and then once I see that everyone's understanding and following along between the numbers 0 and 10, I'll turn on the projector and use visual aids on the projector to show how many blocks each student will need for each problem. And I will then give addition problems using numbers between 0 and 20. So like I would have them get 12 blocks out and then add 3 to it. So then it would be 15, and I'll just have them do that together. But then after 5 minutes or so of them working on it as a class, I will then hand out a quick worksheet that I have made, and it's just some more problems. And then I will walk around the room as students work, and if I see anybody that's struggling or they need help, I will help as needed. And then as the students finish, I'll allow them to have free time as their classmates finish too. So for that, I don't really know because I don't have a classroom, but I would just have them, if we have iPads or something, have iPad time since they got their homework done or their schoolwork done, and then we'd move on to the next subject that we have to do or next class that we have to go to, and I would just have a feel for if the kids actually know what they're going through, and then we will go through it the next day and see how much they remember from the first day. So thank you for watching my video on my mini lesson for math for second graders.